You're doing, let me guess, you're fine. But what if you're not fine? What if you're so far from fine that you don't even remember what fine feels like? What if the real problem isn't that you're lying when you say I'm fine, but it's that you genuinely don't know the difference between fine and drowning anymore? So imagine this. If somebody handed you a feelings chart right now, be honest, would you be able to point out a single emotion that you're actually experiencing? Not because you don't care, but because somewhere along the way, you learned that your emotions are a liability. And that's not what it means to be strong. And that's not what it means to be resilient. That is literally disassociation dressed up as being a good woman or a strong Black woman. And I want to talk about how we got here and why it's quietly hurting us. So, if you don't already know, I am a single mom, and there's something very strange that happens when you become a mom, especially as a Black woman. You very quickly slip into carrying everything alone, even when you have the resources. I take 100% responsibility by default, not 90, not 95, 100 by default. And it's not because anyone sat me down and said, hey, this is all on you. It's because something in me feels like I'm supposed to. And with that responsibility comes so much guilt. And it's the quiet kind of guilt. It's the kind that whispers, if something falls through the cracks, that's on you. So even when support shows up, family, friends, and people who genuinely want to help, it never feels like relief. It feels like it's another schedule to coordinate, another emotion to consider, and another person to not disappoint. When I do get help with my son, because he's still a baby, when I get support, I still rush, I overthink. I don't want to burden anyone with what I've already accepted as my 100% job. And even knowing I physically cannot do it all alone, I keep doing it anyways. And you know where I learned that from? I absolutely learned that from my mom. I watched my mom do everything and never ask for help. And when someone did offer help, she's like, oh no, I was already about to do that. Actually, no, I actually really want to do that task. Please do not help me. You would always make sure that they knew that it's so much more of an inconvenience for you to do it than me. What I learned from that is that sacrifice isn't just what you do sometimes, it's what makes you a valuable, good woman. Not exceptional, not praiseworthy, but baseline good. Our generation didn't wake up one day and decide, I want to be emotionally numb. I want to carry everything alone. I want to work at a job that is completely sucking the life out of me forever. We were trained into it, right? We saw our moms and our grandmas and our aunties get up before everybody else, go to work, cook, clean, care for everybody, swallow comments from partners, family, bosses, cry in silence if they cried at all, right? And somewhere in our little girl brains, we decided, oh, this is what love looks like, and this is what good looks like. And we heard things like, that's just what moms do. You don't complain, you just do it. We learned two things from this at the same exact time. One, your job is to carry, and two, your job is to be quiet about how heavy it feels. And the Black woman specifically, there's this third layer, and it's that people already expect you to be strong, right? So at work, they expect you to handle more and pay you less. In relationships, they expect you to recover faster. In family, they expect you to be the one who has it together. So even when you are literally not okay, it does not look like an emergency to anyone. It looks completely normal. And if something looks normal long enough, you stop questioning it. You stop asking, is this fair? Is this healthy? Is this godly? And you just decide, this is what it means to be a Black woman. This is what it means to be a woman, a good woman. The survival tool our grandmothers used to get through literal danger, we turned it into our personality. So here is the mind game that we all play. Every generation before ours had it significantly harder than we do, right? We can all see that. Our moms fought tooth and nail to give us what she didn't have. Our grandmothers sacrificed everything so our moms could have a shot. And so when we're struggling, when we're overwhelmed, when we are exhausted and barely holding it together, we tend to do this one thing. We shrug our shoulders and we think, my grandmama had it worse than I did, and she did it, right? She didn't complain. She did not fall apart. She kept going. She just did it. So who am I to struggle when I have so much more than they did, right? You compare your emotional reality to their survival conditions. And when you do that, you will always lose, right? You don't stop to fix your situation because you think that you should absolutely be grateful for what you have. And grateful for a job that's draining you, grateful for a relationship that's slowly erasing you, grateful for help that still leaves you feeling like you're carrying everything, does something to us. It makes us think that our pain isn't valid unless it matches their level of suffering. And since we'll never experience truly what they went through, our pain will never be enough to deserve attention. So we just keep going. We keep pushing, we keep functioning, not because we're okay, but because compared to what they survived, we think that we should. And that comparison, that's the silence at work. Silence isn't always you literally not talking. Sometimes silence looks like laughing at a disrespectful comment because you don't want to be dramatic, or saying, oh, it's fine, I got it, when someone offers to help you something that you actually need help with. Or it looks like being the friend who listens to everyone else's problem but never shares her own. I'm so guilty of that. So guilty of that. It looks like showing up to work burnt out, but still overperforming because you don't want to be seen as lazy. Silence isn't just what you don't say out loud, it's what you stop admitting to yourself and bringing awareness to yourself. Your body keeps sending alarms, right? 24/7. You have dread in your chest before you go into work. You have tight jaw, you have headaches, and you can't fully breathe. You don't think, I'm overwhelmed, I need support. We think, oh, I'm being ungrateful. I just need to get it together. I just need to eat cleaner. I just need to drink more water. I just need to go to the gym, right? You just need to fix things and add more to your plate. And you become fluent in everyone else's emotions and push down your own. The Bible says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. But we've been taught to interpret rest as weakness in the Black community. We are taught to see burden as something that we should carry alone. So we go to God with our worship, but not with our reality. But this is what I'm starting to learn, that silence feels holy until you realize that it's hurting you softly. The moment of realization for me I will never forget the day that I finally decided to tell someone how I actually felt, someone close to me. I had been drowning for months, maybe years, but I kept thinking maybe there was something that I could do to fix it. I can change my routine, I can wake up earlier, journal, go to therapy, change my systems. And but one day I had a close family member ask me, "Hey, how's it going?" And it was just casual. They were not trying to have a deep conversation. It was just that autopilot question we all ask. But that day, I felt something in me break a little bit. My heart was racing, my hands were shaking, and I took a deep breath and I said, "I'm not doing well." And there was 3 seconds of silence. And they said, "No, I know, but how's the baby?" And in that moment is when I realized something very devastating. As a Black woman, as a Black mother, as a single mom, it's expected that you tolerate significant sacrifice, overwhelming stress, and exhaustion. That's just what people equate with motherhood in the Black community. And it's not a crisis, it's not unusual, it's our normal. So the first time that I had ever said out loud, "I'm not okay," nobody heard it. Not because they don't love me, but because Black women not being okay is so normal. It's so normalized, it doesn't even register as something worth addressing. You know what nobody talks about? It's the cost of silence. You stop feeling all together. You wake up irritated, you move through your day irritated, you're short with people, you have no patience for anybody, and you think, "I'm just naturally like this." And the truth is, that is not our personality. That is disassociation. That irritation, that unprocessed anger where it has nowhere to go, the numbness, that is our nervous system shutting down. And the constant edge, the hypervigilance from living in survival mode, that is our body sounding off alarms. And we trained ourselves to call that noise normal. God created us to feel, to rest, to ask, and to receive. But silence taught us that feeling is a weakness, that resting is lazy, and that asking is a burden. Silence didn't just steal our voice, it stole our humanity. And what truly breaks my heart is we've mistaken endurance for identity. The next generation is watching us. They're learning that being irritable is just being a woman, being numb is being strong, carrying everything alone is just being responsible. And just like I did, just like my mama did, silence is an heirloom in the Black community, and we just keep passing it down. What do we do with all this? Because the last thing I want to do is give you another standard to fail at. This is just awareness. This is the beginning. And this is where generational cycles end, is through awareness. So, step one is to reconnect. Don't overly try to fix yourself, just notice. 3 times a day, pause and ask, what am I actually feeling right now? I don't care. I talk to myself. I'll be driving in the car and I'm like, how do I feel? I feel okay. I think I feel okay today. I think that's where I start, right? And if you don't have the language yet, that's okay. A lot of times I don't myself, but you can start with tense or heavy or buzzing or numb or tight or open because awareness isn't loud, it's gentle. It feels like finally hearing your own voice again. Step two, stop comparing your pain. Your mama having it worse does not make your pain invalid. Does not mean that you don't have any problems. Two things can be true. They survived unthinkable things. You are still allowed to be overwhelmed by what you are carrying. You can be grateful and struggling at the same time. Step 3, question what you've normalized. Is it just because you're a Capricorn? That's why you're so hardworking and you can't rest, right? Is exhaustion really just being a mom? Is silence really just how our family is? Or is it an inheritance you allowed to pass down to yourself? Step 4 is to let the next generation see you as a human being. Let them see you rest. Let them see you say, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. Let them see you ask for help. That doesn't make you less strong in their eyes. It teaches them that love includes your humanity too. God didn't design us to carry what was meant for community. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. But we can't bear each other's burdens if we don't admit that we have them. Let me tell you what silence does to the Black woman. It makes her carry everything while standing in a room full of help. It makes her rush through support like she's on borrowed time. It makes her feel guilty for needing what everyone else is allowed to receive. And it makes her believe that her humanity is a burden. And the worst one, it makes us pass all of that down as if it's love. As a single mom, I do have support. I have people who would help. But silence taught me that meeting them makes me less. So even when they're right there, I move like I'm alone. I rush, I carry a lot, and I don't rest. Not because I'm superhuman, but because I learned that my needs don't matter as much as everyone else's comfort. And if I don't break that, the next generation is going to learn that too. Silence may be inherited, but healing can be chosen. That's what silence does. It doesn't protect us, it imprisons us. And it doesn't stop with us. Tell me in the comments, what did silence teach you about being a good woman? Because the next generation deserves to inherit freedom. I will see you next time at the cafe. Until then, protect your peace, honor your softness, and let God remind you that you are already enough.